as long as I can remember anything, that I am the best ever at what I do.
James drives down, bumps, he gets off, blocked by Green.
Draymond Green has always been an enigma in the world of basketball. A player who can be described as brilliant and reckless in the same breath, Green's role in the Golden State Warriors dynasty cannot be understated. But in recent years, a question has surfaced. How much is Draymond Green still worth to the Warriors? His high-risk, high-reward style of play, once a cornerstone of their success, might now be causing more harm than good. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how bad Draymond Green has now become for the Golden State Warriors and if it's still worth keeping him. When Green entered the NBA as a 35th overall pick in 2012, no one expected him to be as impactful as he turned out to be. Most second-round picks fade into oblivion, but not Draymond. He carved out a role for himself as a defensive powerhouse with a high basketball IQ. Under coach Steve Kerr, Green blossomed, becoming the glue guy that held together the Warriors' high-flying offense while anchoring their defense. Green wasn't just any defensive player, he was a game-changer. He's a four-time NBA champion and a four-time All-Star. His accolades are extensive: Defensive Player of the Year in 2017, seven-time All-Defensive Team member, and multiple appearances on the All-NBA teams. When Green was at his peak, his defensive prowess was unmatched. He could guard anyone, centers, forwards, guards, it didn't matter. He was the engine that made the Warriors' death lineup so lethal. Draymond Green is, in many ways, a one-of-a-kind player. Not only can he defend all 5 positions, but his playmaking abilities also make him a crucial part of the Warriors' offense. Even though he's not a prolific scorer, Green knows how to facilitate, serving as the main orchestrator for the Warriors' offense when Curry and Thompson are running off screens. His ability to push the ball in transition and create opportunities for his teammates has been a hallmark of his career. Green has regularly ranked among the top forwards in assists, and for several years, he was essentially the Warriors' secondary point guard. This is a unique skill set in a league where most power forwards are focused on scoring or defending, but not necessarily both while also being the team's playmaker. However, the same Draymond Green who was once praised for his versatility has now become a liability on the offensive end. Let's face it, he has never been a great scorer, but at least in the early days, he was a threat. Teams had to respect his ability to hit the occasional three or drive to the rim. Now, that's not the case. His three-point shooting has plummeted to embarrassing levels, hovering around 30% or lower in recent seasons. In the 2022-23 season, Green averaged just 8.5 points per game, a far cry from his career high of 14 points per game during the Warriors' 2015-16 season. This scoring dip is partly due to his unwillingness to shoot. He passes up open shots, which puts more pressure on Curry, Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins to carry the offensive load. Defenses now sag off him, daring to shoot, and the spacing that once made the Warriors' offense so dangerous has suffered because of it. Green's offensive decline is glaring during critical moments of games. Watch any Warriors game and you'll notice teams practically leave him wide open from the three-point line. It's like they're saying, "Go ahead, shoot." And Green often obliges, with a hesitation that almost guarantees a brick. When he does decide to take the shot, it's either too late in the shot clock or too awkward to be effective. This has become such a problem that the Warriors are essentially playing 4-on-5 when Green is on the floor. It's difficult to run a fluid offense when one of your players refuses to be a scoring threat. In today's NBA, where spacing is key, Green's reluctance to shoot disrupts the team's flow and allows opposing defenses to focus more on Curry and Thompson. Opponents simply back the paint, daring Draymond to beat them with his non-existent jumper. Green's temper has always been part of his identity, both a strength and a weakness. His fiery passion is what drives him, but it's also what gets him into trouble. He's notorious for racking up technical fouls, and his ejections during crucial games have become a recurring theme. Take the 2023 playoffs, for example. Green was suspended after stomping on Domantas Sabonis of the Sacramento Kings during Game 2 of their first-round series. This wasn't just any game, it was pivotal to the Warriors' playoff hopes. The suspension brought back memories of the 2016 NBA Finals, where Green was suspended for Game 5 after accumulating too many flagrant fouls. The Warriors were up 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, but Green's suspension shifted the momentum, and the Cavaliers went on to win the series. Many believe that Green's absence in Game 5 was the turning point that allowed LeBron James and Kyrie Irving to stage one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history. These incidents aren't isolated. Green has been suspended multiple times throughout his career.
Draymond Green has been ejected for the windup to the face, impact to the face, the follow through to the jersey, and the throw down to the ground.
And his frequent run-ins with officials not only hurt his team, but also raise questions about his ability to control himself when it matters most. Green's altercation with Sabonis wasn't just a footnote in the 2023 playoffs. It was a sign that Green hasn't learned to rein in his emotions. For all his experience and accolades, Green continues to walk a fine line between passionate and reckless. The stomp heard around the NBA wasn't just dangerous, it was reckless. The Warriors managed to win their first-round series against the Kings, but Green's absence could have easily derailed their postseason campaign. Green is no longer the spring chicken he once was. At 34 years old, he's not as quick or as agile as he used to be, and that's a problem when your game is built on defense and versatility. Defending multiple positions requires speed, lateral quickness, and endurance, all of which start to fade as players age. Green's defensive numbers, while still impressive, have taken a hit, and it's clear that he's not quite the defensive juggernaut he was in his prime. In the 2022-23 season, Green's defensive rating slipped compared to his previous seasons. While he's still a great defender, he's no longer the lockdown force he used to be. This decline, combined with his offensive limitations, makes Green a less valuable player on both ends of the court. The Warriors are built on a culture of teamwork and selflessness. It's what has allowed them to win 4 championships in the past decade. But Green's increasingly erratic behavior raises the question: how much longer can the Warriors afford to gamble on him? Sure, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are still playing at a high level, but they're not getting any younger either. The Warriors' championship window is closing, and they can't afford to be distracted by Green's technical fouls, ejections, and suspensions. Every season is precious, and wasting one because of an outburst from Green could be disastrous. Another factor to consider is Green's contract. In 2023, Green signed a 4-year, $100 million extension with the Warriors, keeping him with the team through 2027. That's a hefty price tag for a player whose offensive game has declined and who brings as much risk as reward. The Warriors are already one of the most expensive teams in NBA history, with massive contracts tied to Curry, Thompson, and Wiggins. Is Green still worth that kind of money? The Warriors are paying him not just for what he's doing now, but for what he's done in the past. But at some point, the return on investment starts to diminish. Green's contract is a significant financial burden, especially when you consider the potential risks of his behavior derailing another season. As much as Green has meant to the Warriors, there's a growing sense that the team may need to start planning for a future without him. The NBA is evolving, and Green's style of play is starting to feel outdated. His inability to space the floor, combined with his temper and declining athleticism, makes him a liability in certain matchups. The Warriors may be able to find younger, cheaper, and less volatile players to fill his role. Of course, Green's leadership and defensive IQ are irreplaceable, but there's a fine line between being valuable and being a distraction. The Warriors have championship aspirations, and Green's antics could be the very thing that holds them back from winning another title. But that's just my opinion. Now, hit the comments and tell us what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.